And while many tuned into the presidential debate to listen to the candidates' words, our next guest was watching them instead. Yes.
Closely. Ryan Foley is a body language expert joining us now to break it all down for us. Good morning. Thanks for being here.
Hey, good morning. Thanks.
Do you even listen to them? Do you mute them so you can watch them?
You've got to do a bit of both.
All right.
Mute, go back, rewind. I see all kinds of stuff.
You actually spotted who you think might be a liar. What are some signs that would raise some red flags for you?
Right, okay. Well, specifically what we're talking about here is Marco Rubio. Now, he was asked a question about whether he hated his job as a senator, tie back to his voting record and so on. Now, you see he's being asked the question here. He's got this fake smile on. It's masking something, fear or anger, doesn't matter. This is not itself a red flag, but he answers with, you know, well, yeah, let me answer that. So he's delaying.
Okay.
Right? And then he attacks the moderators by saying, this is the problem with the media. So he still hasn't answered. And then the moderator asks him again, well, do you hate your job? Second question, simple answer, yes, no. If I ask you, did you steal my lunch from the break room? You'd say yes or no right away.
Right.
He doesn't do that. He delays. Then a series of 3 what we call convincing statements saying, look, other people had this record, other people had this record. He never says, no, I don't hate my job. Now, to be fair, he got an applause for his answer. It sounded very, very well done. You know, very scripted, you might say. But I suspect that there might be some truth to the statement that he's not happy.
Or he may find that being a senator was not what he anticipated it would be. Or he may not be finding that, that it's working the way he wanted it to.
But here's the thing, if somebody ever does that to you, if you need to ask something straightforward, if you ask the question 3 times and they don't give you a direct answer, 80% chance they're not being truthful.
Fair enough. All right, let's turn to Donald Trump. Fairly boring, if you will. He wasn't really center stage here. Ben Carson had some moments, though, you think?
He had a couple of moments. And look, I wanted to point something out about him. You know, he tends to be more reserved. He likes to touch his hands, and normally you might think that's frustration or anxiety. That's his norm. But if we go to another clip here, what we'll see is he's asked a question about his tax reform plan. Right, and he's a bit nervous about that. He's a bit anxious. This is what he does. His blink rate increases.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So normally he blinks about 8 times a minute.
And we're watching.
He's being
click,
asked,
click, click,
so
click,
he's blinking. He has that hard swallow. She keeps asking the question, and then he comes back into it talking. And he, if we watch a little bit later on in this same way, when he's answering this question, you'll notice he takes his right hand and he kind of lays it in the bed of his left hand, and he holds onto that hand. He's telling himself, come on, Carson, we can make it through this. We can do this. All we need to do is just stay strong, keep answering the questions. But later on, when he's answering a question that he feels very confident about, his body language is completely different. He starts with this is a steeple. It's a power move. It says, look, I'm pretty confident about what I'm about to say here. He gets right into his answer. Blink rate doesn't change at all when he's being asked the question. He feels very confident. So even though he doesn't emote a lot, it's very easy to spot when he's feeling anxious or sure or not so sure about a question.
Okay.
And when he feels very confident about his answer.
It's so intriguing to hear that. And I hear you say the blink rate. Also, don't people tend to look away if they don't want to answer you correctly? They can't. It's hard for some people to look you in the eyes and lie or not tell the whole truth to nothing but the truth, which is a good thing, right?
We think that. But typically speaking, most liars, after they've said a lie, they want to look at you. Why? Because they want to know if you're buying the lie. They want to know if they've convinced you. So sometimes they look more. The trick is, what is a person's baseline? How do they act normally? And then any deviations from that baseline, lock onto that, see if there's a lot of them. If there's a lot of them in one area, that's a hot spot, and that's something to investigate.
I want to just give me a name, not an explanation, but who had the most powerful body language?
Trump's always powerful, but Fiorina, I think, is very articulate.
Okay. There you go.
Very good. Very intriguing as always.
We appreciate it.
I love hearing that other side. I watch more now that I've talked to you too. I'm watching everybody's body language. Including my own. You were a second ago. You were talking about the hands and you know, clasping, and I was like, oh,
you know, in formal settings, that's quite normal. Yeah.
Ryan Foley, thank you. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Well, here's a quick check.